everyone! Welcome to Qwilr's Design class, where we unlock the power of the web through visual storytelling. My name is Irene and I am part of Qwilr's digital design team, and I'll be your instructor for today. Before we begin, I would like to note that this design class assumes your basic familiarity with Qwilr. If you're new to it, no worries. Feel free to stay for valuable tips and afterward consider watching our Qwilr 101 on-demand webinar for a comprehensive introduction to the basics. Over the next hour, we'll explore unlocking the full potential of Qwilr's column and accordion widget, as well as some tips and tricks and best practices of using the two widgets. Since we only have 1 hour, for our design class, we will break the majority for the demo and then the remaining for the live Q&A. We have some housekeeping items that we would like to mention before we start our design class. The first one is, where can I post my questions? So feel free to post your questions in the Zoom chat box or our Q&A tab. Our fellow designers will be answering your questions from there. Can I turn on or off my video? By default, your camera is turned off, so no pressure on turning it on. My mic is mute. How do we unmute it? So your microphones will be muted for the next hour to ensure a smooth webinar and we don't interrupt our instructor. So let's start by defining what Qwilr is. So Qwilr is a modern sales proposal software, but that's not all. Qwilr also represents a modern way to sell. With Qwilr, you can create customized and engaging sales materials, ultimately impressing your prospective clients by simply sharing a URL instead of dealing with numerous bulky attachments. So as mentioned earlier, I am part of Qwilr's digital design team. So what do we do as the digital design team of Qwilr? We are the team that specializes in transforming your documents into visually stunning and interactive Qwilr pages to help you stand out and leave a lasting impression of your clients and stakeholders. So in this demo, I will be showcasing the new widgets inside Qwilr pages from a designer's point of view. So I hope you all are excited. Just to remind everyone, if you have any questions as mentioned above, please feel free to send them anytime on our chat box. You don't have to wait for the design class to finish because our fellow designers are on standby to answer them for you. So now, let's move on to the next part of our design class, which is our live demo. So maximizing Qwilr's columns and accordions widget. Before we start, what's inside the columns widget? So our columns widget lets you place content side by side, as shown here, in multiple columns, so you can add text, images, buttons, and more. So this will help you create a visually balanced and structured layout in your Qwilr pages. You can use this for comparing features, showcasing team members, or also presenting steps in process. The next one is the accordion widget. This one allows you to display collapsible sections, making it easy for you to organize and shorten long and detailed information. It's also perfect for frequently asked questions, terms and conditions, and also any content that the viewer can explore one section at a time so that your page will be clean and easy to navigate. So we have two examples of our accordion widget here, which is the visual accordion widget where you can add an image as a header. And then the other one is a simple accordion widget, which you can only put text for the header. So now we're now moving to the next part, which is the how to show creative ways to use the columns widget. So for this example, we are showcasing customer logos. We have 3 examples here on how to put customer logos in 3 columns. Here on the left one, and then 4 columns here to showcase the logos at the center, and then another one here for the logos on the left and the right, or outside. So now we're going to recreate them by creating 3 columns here, and then I'm going to put the logo here, and then another one here. So make sure to delete the space below, and then I'm going to adjust it as I see fit. So now we're done for the first example, as you can see here. And then the next one is at the center. So for this part, I'm going to create 4 columns here. And then we're going to place the logos inside the 2 columns here. And then here. So make sure to check if there are spaces that has been created. And then we're going to adjust the spacing here so that it will look neat and not too crowded. And then this one at the left and right, same goes. We're going to create 4 columns again. This time we're going to put it at the outmost right, left, and then the outmost right, like that. So now these three examples can be used for your title blocks, especially at the topmost of your Qwilr page. So in this part, we're going to use the columns widget as image collage to separate sections. Sometimes we use the splash background for us to separate sections inside our Qwilr page. But for this one, we can now use the columns widget to create a collage such as shown here. So first, we're going to create 4 columns here, and then add an image here, this one. Oops. We're going to swap that to this one, and then here and here. So as you can see above, there's no spacing in between of them, so we're going to adjust the spacing to 0, and then click done, as well as expanding the columns widget to the outmost width or the maximum width, such as this. So now we're moving on to adjusting the columns width for better balance. Just like the second one that we did, we're using the maximum width of the columns widget, but now here it's because of the cat image here, it looks more sleek. So we're going to recreate this part. First is to create the 2 columns, and then I'm going to copy the text here that we're going to put here, and then for the image, go in dashboard. So I'm just gonna drag it here and remove this one, and then we're now going to expand this. So you can see here there's a space at the bottom, so now I'm going to use the alignment settings inside the columns widget into the center so that the spacing above and below is more balanced. So, and then we're going to adjust this one, the width of the first column, to make it more sleek. And then another example is to use the columns to highlight key features using icons or numbers. So as you can see here, we have a number at the left side, and then on the right side of it is the text. So but here we actually used 6 columns to achieve this layout, and also the same goes here. So for the demo purposes, I'm just going to recreate this part, but it has the same principles as using it as numbers or as titles. So I'm going to create 6 columns here, and then edit columns, and then I'm gonna add 2 more, just adjusting it here like so. And then I'm going to put the images first. And then I'm going to copy the text we're going to put here. As you can see, it's still not adjusted, so we're going to edit it again and adjust the spacings and make it even for all of them. And then I'm just going to make this smaller, the image is smaller, like so. You can actually adjust this also to the alignment right here, just for better readability and also for the layout. So yeah. And then another example is to columns help us visualize project phases with columns and icons. So here we externally created this line right there, and also the icons below. This will help us visualize the phases we're in right now in our project. So to recreate this one, I'm going to create 4 columns here, then adjust it like so, and then I'm gonna put the icon here. Another tip that I actually do when I have multiple or images that I use the same is to clone each column. So for example here, I'm just gonna clone it 4 times. Like so. And then I'm going to adjust the spacing again to 0, the column graph to 0, so that it has the illusion of a line like above. Then I'm just going to paste the face here. Since I have the same color of the phase 1 and phase 3, I'm just going to paste it here and then change this one to 3, and then this one also. Like so. And then this part, it has the same principle also. Like, just gonna create 2 first, and then this one. Oops, sorry. Gonna delete that and then drag it here. Delete this. So I will clone this 2 times, and then I'm just gonna swap this image to this one, also this one right here, and then just gonna put an image there. So yeah, and then just gonna copy this also. Okay, like that. Now we're done at this columns part of our demo. We're moving on to creative ways to use the Accordions widget. So the first example that we have is to make the Accordions widget seamless inside the blocks. So as you can see here, the Accordion widget blends with the color or the background color here. So to recreate that, I'm just gonna copy paste the first part first, right here, and then I'm just gonna recreate it very quickly, and then copy this one, paste it here. So this one is a subheading. Sorry, this one is a heading. Yep. And then a divider right here. And then I'm going to recreate the Accordion widget, which is this one. And then, as you can see here, it already blended, but just for the demo purposes, for example, this one is the default color. I'm just gonna click this eyedrop tool here, and then click on the background so that you have the same color of the background in the Accordion widget. And then I'm just gonna paste also this one here, and then change it to subheading. So yeah, it's this one is pretty straightforward, and it blends well with your background to make it more cohesive and sleek. And then another example is to mix and match your accordion types. So this will provide hierarchy to your Qwilr page. So for example, your recommended option for the plan is this one, and then you have other options. So of course the recommended one will be the biggest, and then you can have the other two at different sizes. So for example, here I've already created, or I've already put a accordion widget. We're just gonna adjust this one to make it visual right here, and then I'm setting the image height to large, which is the recommended one. And then I'm just gonna add a button here, and then click the white one so it's visible, and then we're going to put this type of button so it says see more. And yep, that's it. And then the other one will be also the visual, but for here we're going to set the image height to medium. And then for the button, same as the first one. And then for the last one, we're going to put it visual and then small. And we're going to set the button again. So we're also going to adjust the size of the text here. So this one will be on subheading, and then the other one will be on a body text. So as you can see, there's a hierarchy inside the accordion widget. Then another mix and match option is also putting the visual and then the simple accordion in one block right here. So for example, if you have a service and you have all the information there, but you also want to add additional information from the service that you provided. So we're going to recreate this one by also simply putting the first one into visual, and then I'm also gonna edit the button right here to see more. And then for the additional information, we're just gonna edit this to a body text right there. So we have the same accordion widget right here. So we're moving on to color-coded accordions. So now we can actually create multiple colored accordion widgets to showcase design, as well as if you have hierarchy also on what you want your clients to see first. So this is also serve as a clear indication for them. So we're gonna recreate this one by just the accordion, and then button at the left, at the right, and then add sign, and then I'm just gonna let my button at white, and then the color would be like this one, and it's gonna edit the size. And then for this one, I like to clone the design first, and then I will just add the colors right after. So I'm just going to use the same color here, which is that, and then this one's the same like this. So yeah, you can, for example, you can put high, medium, or even low. And then another color coded accordion is to let you use it to let your customer see them by group. So for example, these frequently asked questions have multiple questions for different teams. So for example, the first one is for the design, support, and then sales. So with the color-coded accordions, your customer can see which ones are grouped by. So for this, I'm just gonna clone the three frequently asked questions first, and this and then I'm gonna change this to this one. As you can see, I have a divider here. A quick tip is to put 3 dashes, so that's a shortcut for our divider inside Qwilr, like so. And then I'm also gonna create another Accordions widget. And then this time I'm gonna use this color, so I'm just gonna copy and then going to paste it here, and then for example, and then support related, for example. So, yeah, it's gonna put it sorry, I think it's on, yeah, subheading. Then I'm going to clone this again, and then another shortcut actually is cloning this again, cloning it one more time, and then clicking the second to the last accordions, click enter, and then I'm gonna put 3 dashes again so that you will have this divider, and then this one is for the sales related question. And I guess the color is also different, like so. And then just going to change this one. So we're almost done with the design class, and I hope you learned some helpful designing skills on our live demo. But we're actually not done yet. We're gonna move on to our design class, which will have to our design class tips that can also help you enhance your pages. So here, the first one is use GIFs to add movement to your proposals. You can use it to showcase product features, visualize data before and after comparisons, and even team introductions. So like this one, we have a GIF for their headshots. So use them to make your Qwilr pages more dynamic. And then the second one is make sure to select background colors that harmonize on your proposal. So ensure that the background aligns with your company branding, and also you have permission to use them. Another one is to take advantage of the options that I've shown you earlier of our new columns widget. So you can use it for customizing the spacing, and also the alignment to best fit your content. And then another one is to integrate images, icons, or even graphics to some of the important sections of your blocks. Just as an example here, you can use an image and then the content that you want to use inside your block for better visual appeal in your Qwilr page. Last but not the least is get creative. You can combine multiple widgets in a single block for additional flexibility, For this example, we've used the columns widget here at the top, and then an accordion widget to present layered content. So that's it. We're moving on to our live Q&A with the team.